Hello everyone. Our distinguished guest speaker, Professor Dr. Engineer Martin Herricklist. Herzlich willkommen. Your Excellency, Dr. Abdul Hakim Al-Majid, the Dean of College of Engineering, dear guests, faculty and students. Prince Sultan University is used to invite and host international and local key speakers as a center of learning to instill skills and knowledge to inspire its students beyond the curriculum and to enrich faculty members' experience. Today, Prince Sultan University is honored to host an eminent and self-established scientist and businessman, Dr. Martin Herricklist. And please let me say that, if you allow me, he's one of the last German giants of his generation. Dr. Martin has founded the company Herricklist in his name in Germany maybe more than 30 years ago, and now have more than 5,000 employees digging tunnels across many countries, including the longest tunnel of the world, under 20 to 40 meters below ground. And he told us now this is the Brenner tunnel will be 60 kilometers long. That's the longest in history. So also Herricklist has contributed to the tunneling work of Riyadh Metro with 6 different machines to dig about 20 kilometers of tunneling with different sizes. Not all the tunnels have the same size. Okay? So that it can meet the design requirement and geological condition. Just to give you a sense of size and cost, each machine Herricklist sell is about $6 million. Each machine is a $6 million, let alone the cost of servicing after purchase. Let me take this moment to say, normally the tunneling boring machine is 100 to 120 meter long and in diameter 10 to 14.5, and they just tell us they made the largest in China for China tunneling is about 19 meters diameter. On this occasion, I wish to applaud the German engineering contribution to the development of Saudi Arabia and Riyadh specifically. Okay. And let me give you one example of 2 trophy projects, one in the east of King Abdullah Highway and the other one to the west. The one in the east is King Fahd Stadium marvelous tent. It was a feat at its time. And in the west we have King Abdullah Highway, which divides Riyadh to north and south. And it runs more than 10 kilometers. And in the west, we have Tuwaiq Palace, which is designed by Fry Auto. And King Fahd Stadium tent, designed by Professor Schleich, beides sind deine Landesleute, Herricklist. Notably, our guest speaker has been awarded internationally and in his home with the prestigious medal of Werner von Siemens on Life Achievement Award of International Roads and Highway Society. Without further ado, let us welcome Dr. Martin Herricklist.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dean, I guess I'm connected. Okay, good. I'm connected. For me, it's a pleasure to be here in Riyadh and to spend the time. We were just shortly talking about a closer cooperation between your university and our company. I think tunneling is a fascinating job. When I was young, I started in Switzerland on the project Salisbury tunnel, you know, I was so fascinated about tunneling. You learn something, you have to accept the geological profile, you have to see water level if you get underneath the Bosporus tunnel. So it's quite a challenging job. Every day is something else, you know. You have to overcome the problem, and I think this makes me quite happy. When I started the company, I was thinking when I started the company, I will have a company with about 100 engineers, you know, that was all. Now we ended up with 5,000 engineers. And I also mentioned to the dean that's quite important for the industry, our industry, to have a close relationship with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a country, a main country on this island, you know, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, we make some jobs, but Saudi Arabia is a key country for making, let's say, tunneling and also do infrastructure to a better situation, digitalization, robotic technology. So I would just want to start shortly when my engineer will take over, Dr. Bepler, you know, who's working about 30 years already in our company, and I will show you some of the projects to get fascinated. And like we agreed, we will have a close relation with your university to exchange knowledge, bring you on the latest stage, you know, technology, digitalization, using robotic technology for this tunneling. The smallest tunnel boring machine guided is about 30 centimeters, and the world's largest tunnel boring machine we built was for Hong Kong, a road tunnel 17.6 meters. So it's quite a fascinating job. And if you are once in the, let's say, this technology, you're really fascinating. I see also quite some ladies joining us, and I'm quite pleased, and I would say congratulations to the university that quite some ladies are also working. A little bit short, I will show you some of the pictures, you know, from our company. I started the company with, let's say, 1975, and we started with a Herrer machine on the bigger range, and now ended up in Hong Kong with 17.6 meter in diameter. Quite challenging. I started 1975 with the engineering office, myself small, then we converted the company in a limited company, but completely family owned. We have a whole product, complete range tunnel boring machine, world leader in mechanized tunneling, being copied some machines, or we sold more than 400 machines in China, so they copy our technology. If you want to buy the original, that's coming from us, you know, so we have to work quite closely together. Here are some milestones. We have a factory in China, the 1 billion turnover, 3,600 people. 2014, the world's largest tunnel boring machine. 2016, Riyadh Metro. We also do quite for the stormwater in Jeddah projects with our people I have here, and successfully undercrossing the Suez Canal, the expanded Suez Canal. We did 5 tunnels, you know, to undercross the extended Suez Canal. That's our company here. We look for sure from the environmental. I'm born here in this village. My brother, 2 years older, he took over the business from my father. He had an upholstery business, and I had to go and to study. I was finished with 20 years on the university. My father had no money, I had to work in the semester holiday as a welder to collect the money to cover the cost. That's our factory which we have in Schwanau, near the border of France, near the border to Switzerland, where we are acting from. Leading technology and tunnel boring machines are quite, if I look, let's say 1975, the technology of this technique, it's tremendous advancing. PLC, digitalization, automatic robotic technology. We have projects in all over 92 countries worldwide, more than 5,300 successfully executed reference projects and a revenue from over 1 billion. Our, let's say, region is for sure Europe. The biggest project which we have now in Europe is in France, Grand Paris. For the Olympic Games, we have 21 machines in operation. Then I have to say, quite important will be Saudi Arabia. No discussion about this. Your country is moving in a tremendous speed. So we have to watch quite carefully the connection between, let's say, Saudi Arabia and Germany. I personally quite are involved to push this quite strongly. Then we cover China, Thailand, we have a subsidiary, the main subsidiary in Singapore, where we cover Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, South Korea. These countries in South America, and also quite at the moment Canada and the United States are important. We have lots of projects over there. So this is for me a must. What we do, we not only do, let's say, tunnel boring machine, we also have the segmental production, peripheral equipment, data management, quite important today, so we can control any operation which we do. We could steer tunnel boring machines from home. It's not allowed at the moment, but we can support you on the job site, technical stuff, navigation monitoring. This is our work. And we have also companies, logistic companies, VMT, for steering, Maschinenbau Dresden, rolling stock, navigation, it's quite important, monitoring, belt conveyor equipment, production, multi-service vehicle, you get more likely now to multi-service vehicle equipment for tunneling and Genesis sensor technology. This is quite important. Some of the highlights which I want to show you at the Lötschberg tunnel. It's a tunnel 30 kilometers in Switzerland, tunnel boring machine. It's a hard rock machine with a backup about 300 meter long. And the Lötschberg tunnel, we did also rock bolting on the rear side. And that was a champion league if you play in the world. It's between the African continent and the European continent. It's the St. Gothard, the highest mountain, some of the highest mountain connecting between Bodio, 57 kilometers was the longest railway tunnel which we did till now. We did about 85 kilometers, 4 machines coming from the north, from the south, meeting 14 millimeter sidewise and 7 millimeter on the height with a 10-meter machine through the hard rock boring. Sometimes I myself was surprised what we can do with technology. This is a project, on the right hand, from Italy south. Here is a famous Piora Mulde. There's sand from the Sahara pushed together from the north and from the south, and we had machines from the north, from the south coming together. Here it's a breakthrough. It's quite a nice event if you are in time, and also cost-wise, covering the cost here. It's about 4,000 kilowatt torque on the cutter head, quite impulsive. You don't need a masseur in the evening if you're on the tunnel boring machine. You get for 1 hour really shake, so you are in a good condition. Here it's a fast train getting through. The 2016, I was invited in the first train to drive with it, and I think also a project like NEOM can be like this, where the circulation and also, let's say, traffic, utility tunnel, Hyperloop, all these things coming back. This one is a project which we made in Oslo, quite hard rock, with 4 machines from the center, 10 kilometer to Oslo, 10 kilometer SKI. And we finished this project quite in time, and here too it will be quite interesting. We were talking this morning with the Dean. Thank you very much for our open discussion. I would offer, let's say, to have a training, summer training for engineers from your university. Invite them, for university. We have an academy to train you, and I would be quite pleased to have people from here, from Riyadh in Germany. It's a statement. I'm here at the moment with ex-chancellor, Mr. Schröder. He has quite a flavor for Saudi Arabia. For me, it's quite important. I will change to Dr. Babler to have here follow follow the presentation. I have to say very much thank you. It's for me a great pleasure to be here, and I would like to say inviting you coming to Germany and make a training session for students. I'm 79 years old. I want to get 100 years and also have a good connection with Saudi Arabia since about 25 years, first time when I was here. And your country makes quite a big advance, and I wish you luck on the future. Thank you very much. Okay, good.
Okay, so I will introduce you some more major large infrastructure projects ongoing or that have been realized up in Europe. Here's an example that Martin Herricklist already mentioned. It's a project up in Norway, in Scandinavia. It's the longest rail tunnel that was built in Norway with two single-track rail tunnels of in total 22 kilometers in length. Here in total 4 machines were in use, 4 hard rock tunnel boring machines, because here the section between the city of Ski, that on the right-hand side to Oslo, had been connected, and here 4 nearly 10-meter diameter hard rock machines were applied. Both started from a midterm axis. The midterm axis was constructed using drill and blast technology, and then the machines drove towards the south, towards the city of Ski, and the other 2 machines towards the north in Oslo. The project was quite challenging because of, first of all, a 10-meter diameter large bore, and then of the rock conditions. It had been gneiss and pipelet rocks of quite high strength and abrasiveness. For those who are in the geotechnical part, the rock strengths had in average up to 180 megapascal, so quite challenging. But there was also another issue on that project because in Norway you have to have strict restrictions regarding not impacting the potable water level, and so they had to do from time to time grouting in order to avoid an impact to the groundwater level. Here you see a picture of a tool change. All these you have to, on a regular basis, you have to change the cutting tools with which you do the excavation, and you do the rock splitting with this. The machine's quite well performed, in average around 88 meters a week, and even up to 550 meters a month. Or if you talk about average ranges per day, up to 14 meters a day that there were successfully excavating through competent rock masses. That's the breakthrough. There had been the 2 machines running in parallel, and we could celebrate that both machines broke through at the same time. Then another Century project that is currently under construction in Europe is that will be then, when finished, the longest rail tunnel in the world, with a total of 64 kilometers. It connects the Italian side with the Austrian side by high-speed tunneling. Here it's characterized by 2 single track tunnels. The main tubes have an internal diameter of 8.1 meters. And all along the 64 kilometers you have an exploratory gallery running in between the 2 main tubes with an internal diameter of 5 meters. Up to now we had been delivering 5 machines for that project. One from the north side, it was for the exploratory gallery. The machine had a diameter of 7.9 meters in diameter and excavated on a length of 15 kilometers with daily performances even up to 60 meters a day. And from the south side we had 3 machines. One already successfully finished a 40 kilometers drive for the exploratory gallery. It was a 6.9 meter diameter machine, and the 2 machines of larger diameter of 10.8 meters in diameter are still under excavation and finished up to now around 70, respectively 78%. You see here one of these large diameter machines of 10.6 meters in diameter. You see here the cutter head fitted with the tools with which you do the excavation. So it's quite a major project that is currently ongoing up in Europe. Here you see also breakthrough of that exploratory gallery where a hard rock machine excavated about 15 kilometers. Then staying in Europe, up in Paris, it's also a major infrastructure project. In Paris they built by 2030 around 200 kilometers of new metro line, and of these 200 kilometers 90% will run underground. We have been involved with mechanized tunnel boring machines. Up to date 21 machines had been involved from us. You see all the green spots here. These are the tunneling lots where our machines have been in use, and to successfully also connect with the airport, but also to connect the urban areas with the city center of Paris, and to increase transportability and mobility of people in the area. You You see here a few images. On the top you see the starting shafts of such a machine, just also assembly of the machines. You see on the top picture a cutter head that is lower down in the shaft to assemble the machines and to start then excavation. The machines for metro tunnels are in the diameter range of 7 up to 10 meters in diameter. They work in different geologies, mainly clay formation, so most of the machines are of identical type of machine. We also have vertical shaft sinking machines that have been employed there. The shafts depths up to 20-30 meters going down. These are for ventilation shafts of the metro system. Then Crossrail, also one of the major projects up in the UK. It's a big project connecting the east side of London with the western side. Here twin track tunnels had been built of 21 kilometers, so in total 42 kilometers were excavated using also tunnel boring machines. We supplied 8 machines of 8.8 meters in diameter, and they finished the 42 kilometers within less than 3 years, so the tunneling was completed. Then in the UK there's at the moment another big major infrastructure project ongoing. They're building the high-speed 2 railway line, the phase 1 currently under construction between London and Birmingham. Here we're involved up to now with 7 machines. There are some more machines under tendering at the moment, and the next phase that will be built then up in 2029 will be what you see on the right hand side, the phase 2, the connection from Birmingham up to Leeds or to Manchester. The machines here, the 7 machines, are all in the diameter range of 10 meters. Here is some quite innovative technology also involved. Most of especially one section, one tunneling lot, has an overall length of 16 kilometers. And here we supplied a machine that can achieve higher performance rates in soft ground conditions with a kind of semi-continuous operation mode. So while you do an operation, you can build in parallel already in a ring. There are also other innovative technologies also to support the transport or the transfer from the tunnel linings, which are segments. It's an automated process from the back up towards the front. And we have also kind of assisted ring building program for the person who is placing the ring that increases the safety of operation, and also it also decreases the number of people working also on the machine. So for this, now I lead over to our tunneling works up in the Middle East. My colleague will take over and will introduce you into the Middle East market.
So, hello everyone. We'll take you closer to our activities in the Middle East region and even more in Saudi Arabia. Recently we have some projects in Saudi Arabia in Arafat Taif water pipeline that was to transfer the desalinated water across the pipeline across the mountains in Arafat. Also we were involved in discussion about metro in Mecca. We also did with our machines our machines were also involved in the Metro Riyadh projects. We have around six machines, and also we're in discussion about a project in the Mecca region about tunnel cables. Also, we have some good activities in Qatar. We have big projects for the World Cup. We have around in total of 21 machines for metro lines there. Also, we were involved in Dubai Metro project, also in the sewage project in Abu Dhabi. This also, so that was the Riyadh Metro project. We did successfully the tunneling with our 6 machines, and the final breakthrough was in 2016. And that was the breakthrough for Riyadh. So I have to rush up. The next one was, as I mentioned before, the Arafat tie for the water pipeline. We have here very hard rock strength, but we managed to make a very good performance with our machine. So we make up like 60 meters per day with this geology to maximum 450 megapascal. Other projects, like I said, in Mecca network, this is a discussion or ongoing project maybe. Also, we are in the field of utility tunnels like sewage lines, water lines, heavily involved. This was one of our big, challenging and interesting projects in the holy area in Mecca, where we have to provide support to our clients. We couldn't send our German engineers there, so we came up with a solution that we can control and monitor the operation of the machine from our headquarters in Germany 24/7 and be in contact with the local contractors engineers in Saudi Arabia. After that, we came up to make this as a standard option in our machines. Also, we have sewage tunnel activities in Taif. We have 4 TBMs there in Taif already, and we have currently now 2 working machines there, also in sewage project, to bring up the infrastructure of in Taif. Also in the field of oil and gas pipelines, we're also involved in some projects. The highlighted one was in Dammam with our direct pipe machine, so we can increase the performance of the project timeline. In Jeddah recently was also, I think this one's also the breakthrough for this, the first phase of Jeddah stormwater project. We have 2 AVN machines who are working there successfully, made up the project. Also in the near city, the neighbor city, Bouhaila, we have currently around 10 machines working there on their stormwater projects. And we have also our first vertical sinking machine was implemented here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia to excavate the shaft where the machine started excavating. This was a project in Jeddah, and then we developed the machine further for deeper and working in difficult geologies. This is how the machine looks like. Also some applications for this vertical shaft sinking machines. It's really interesting, this U-Park system, where we make shafts deep in the ground to install after that parking systems. Also in the utility field, we have over 90 machines working or worked already in Saudi Arabia in different cities. Also the oil and gas applications and our okay. So thank you.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt the presentation because Dr. Martin Luther has to leave at 12. So I'm going to ask him to kindly come to the podium to take the questions from the audience. And then if anybody interested later on, we have the technical director. He will continue the technical presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so. helps you. So if anybody want to ask from entrepreneurial or technical or scientific question, Dr. Martin, all in one.
I'd like to start, if you don't mind. First of all, thank you very much, Dr. Martin, for this very nice presentation and enlightening us about the excavation and tunneling technologies that really perform everything. It's really difficult and very hard. And first, again, I'd like to thank you very much for supporting our students by providing 4 seats for our co-op students to visit Germany and visit the academy there and have the co-op training for 7 months there. And also I'd like to thank you for providing the lodging for the student in that regard. Now I would like to inform you that we also have female participants and engineers. We have the architecture and interior design, and we may seek for another additional 4 seats for our female participant. Hopefully by end of this semester, we'll send a list of the intended student, inshallah, to visit you. Once again, thank you very much for this generosity to your company and participation in really helping our graduates and the PSU programs and all. Thank you very much.
Now we take questions, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Martin, for this nice presentation. My question is not technical, but our students, when they finish the requirements of the BSc or bachelor degree here, some of the students, they decide to start their own work, their own business. Some students, they decide to work for companies. Some of them, they decided to work for, say, 3 to 5 years, then they decide to continue working with companies or shift to their own business. We need your recommendations for our students regarding this issue, whether to start their own business from the beginning or wait for some years. Thank you.
Okay, if I only can tell you my story, we were quite poor at the beginning, my mother rented me 25,000 Deutschmark to start the business. For me, was quite good. I was working in the industry, tunnel business industry, for 5 years in Switzerland. Then I built up a good network. And after this, I started my company. So I would propose, if you start your company, look that you can work first of all in companies to build up a good network, and then use this network for setting up your own company and get into business.
Okay.
Answers the question. Okay.
Any more questions? Nobody want to ask? Well, then I'm going to ask you then a question.
Yes.
Now, you worked in many countries,
Yes.
Dr. Martin, in South America, in Asia, Africa. What makes Saudi Arabia different from other countries in culture of work, professionality, and ease of management?
Yeah, I would say Saudi Arabia has absolutely great future. If you see what they now do with neon metros, Jeddah, the city are growing, you need more utility tunnels, you need more, let's say, support tunnels, digitalization, electrical cable tunnels, I would say also for Saudi Arabia, the next century will be underground. It's limited on top. If you want to get on long distance, they are planning to have an excellent network. You need also minerals to transport from A to B. So I'm sure that Saudi Arabia will have a great future. Clear? Let's say I have to apologize our politicians that they don't push too strongly for the Saudi Arabia, but the industry, the German industry, is fully supporting Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a key player here on this continent, and let's say they have lots of oil, gas. From this side, they will turn to the next, let's say, to the next situation. And I would say, if I compare 20 years ago till today, absolute open Saudi Arabia. Let's say what I also appreciate that lots of women are now integrated, also university, and they will have a great future. You know, it's a change. We have to see this development, and I would say it's a must to be here in Saudi Arabia.
Thank you. Any more questions? Please.
Thank you, Doctor, for coming here. I have a technical question. When I see how you do the tunnels when you put the tiles, I have one question. Do you usually build the tile yourself, or you outsource this to another company to build the tile? And one more question. Do you usually build it at site, or is it like easier to ship it from a different location?
ارفع صوتك بس.
Should I
Slowly.
read the whole question?
Yes, the first question. Can you repeat it?
Yes, the first question is, do you build the tiles when you dig the tunnel, you put the tiles around the tunnels? Do you build it yourself, or you outsource it to different companies?
Okay.
And the second question, the tiles, do you build it inside, or do you ship it from another location?
Yes. What we do, not only supplying the tunnel boring machine, we also support you building the segments, the concrete segments. You know, we can deliver the molds set up for the construction company to build the segments. We can do this, and this was also done in Riyadh, to do it locally for the, let's say, workforce to apply it. We don't have to ship it in. We can build it here, and I would say we supply the tunnel boring machine. They are quite sophisticated, so we have to train the engineers and the people on the job site. On bigger projects like St. Gotthard, we had 20 people, 7 days per week to support the company on the job site. We sell the tunnel boring machine, we partially also are renting the machines, but we look that the workforce is coming from the country. Good.
Good. We need to hear from the ladies section, you know. Any question? They are shy, maybe. Okay, then we go in there.
Yes, thank you for being here again. I have a quick question. Since you mentioned NEOM, have you heard about the Line project?
The line.
Yeah, what do you think about it from a tunneling perspective? Do you think it's achievable, or?
Yes, I would say yes. We were just shortly getting in this program that will be developed. It will be also a discussion with the director from NEOM tomorrow here in Riyadh, and this afternoon with the foreign minister. So I think it's for sure, it's an excellent project, you know, challenging project, but I'm sure you can handle, you will handle, and Your Highness is quite strong to build this NEOM it's much more than showing the future. It's the future for the young generation.
Good, we have one more question.
Doctor, I have a question about, is it possible to do a straight line for Hyperloop projects, or it's hard to do straight lines under the ground?
It's clear, the straight line, let's say it's not a problem, you know, you have to have some shafts between, you know, so I see a distance what we did also when we built a huge tunnel. We have, let's say, a distance 10 kilometer, so we have to have a shaft, you know, and I would say Hyperloop, at the beginning, it's let's say it's a big dream to travel with 1,000 kilometers per hour long distance. You know, the first step I see quite in reality in the next 2-3 years that we have a Hyperloop in Zurich to supply, let's say, for the city. Don't risk get underneath and supply goods and food, you know, and material to the city. So I would say this is the first step with speed of about 100 kilometers, and then go to the next step. You know, this will be for sure takes another effort.
Thank you, Professor. I just have one question about the localization. Localization is one important thing that it's been all considered in Vision 2030. Are you thinking about opening a headquarters for your company here in Saudi Arabia? It's a great location, and we have always a link with the Middle East, Asia, also Africa and Europe. So this is my question. Are you considering to open a headquarters here in Saudi Arabia? Thank you.
Okay. No doubt we have the office set up already since about 20 years in Jeddah. We will increase it. We will increase it to a training academy too here and also in Germany. And I think I would say the best thing is a close cooperation with your university to train the young ladies and young engineers and have locally, you know, a strong setup.
Okay. We take the last question before we ask the Dean to come here and give you something to remember about recent time university.
Hello, Doctor. I have a question. Since your company did so many big projects, what's a goal of the companies, of another thing they want to achieve in the future?
I didn't hear it. Please raise your volume. Yes.
What's the company's next goal for a big project that they would like to achieve one day?
Okay, my goal is, let's say, get in the next generation, the next machine generation will be more digitalization, automatization, you know, to have less people in the tunnel itself, you know. This generation will be much more automatic, digitalization, controlled, adapted to the geological profile. This is quite important, but don't forget, let's say, the big wish would be to operate a 10 or 15 meter machine from the office upstairs, but this is still a little bit a dream, but you have to have a vision, like you have a vision here in Saudi Arabia for 2030. So we have to have a dream, we have to have a vision, we have to be positive thinking for this technology. And if you think what was achieved in the last 30 years in tunneling, it's for me fascinating. If I see the machine they used in Switzerland 1970, far away, you couldn't dream what is today happening and what, let's say, technology is used, and that's a reason also for you study. We have, I think, I'm now 79, I still study, I keep up with a smartphone, I keep up with a computer. So a whole life you will have a basic to learn every day, every decade, you know, that's quite important. And I'm quite pleased to see so many ladies here at the university college, you know, and it's absolute for me a positive sign. And I'm married with a Colombian lady, you know, we have 3 children. So I would say multicultural, you know, don't be afraid, and always learning, studying, and that's a base. In the university, you get trained how to learn, but in future, the whole life, you have to be awake and make learning training.
Okay, well, we thank you very much for your time and energy. Now I call on the Dean, Dr. Abdul Hakim.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, good.
Thank you very much. Just for your support.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.